OTAs are underway and teams will be reporting to minicamp soon. Every team is 0-0 and optimism is high. And if you're one of the lucky teams with a franchise quarterback, you are probably more optimistic than teams without one. With that being said, this episode of Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan will be a fantasy GM edition. I will give you my top five quarterbacks to start a franchise with, as well as some that just missed the cut. So some of them just missing the cut. I'm gonna go with Lamar Jackson, 29 years old, two-time MVP, fantastic quarterback, been one of the elite four quarterbacks for the last few years, but creeping up to 30 and being a guy who uses athleticism and to enhance his playmaking, I'd be a little leery about picking him to start my franchise with. He just came off a hamstring, had a down year last year without having that mobility. As he gets over 30, maybe lose some athleticism. I don't know, maybe the things that make Lamar special, he's not so special, so he's a guy I wouldn't take. Joe Burrow, another guy under 30, fantastic quarterback, maybe the best as durability concerns. Now, some of those issues may not be on him. Bengals offensive line hasn't been up to par since he's gotten there, so that may contribute to some of his injuries. But regardless of that, I can't take him because your best ability is availability. So no Joe B. CJ Stroud, 24 years old. Rookie season was fantastic. And it sounds strange that he wouldn't be a guy that would be a guy you would start a franchise with at this point, but well, not one of the top five guys. But rookie year, 4,000 yards, 23 touchdowns, five interceptions, and 15 starts. But ever since then, it's just been, has not been top tier quarterback play. In fact, it's been very middle of the road. And sometimes he's actually struggled. So he's a guy because of regression that I thought early in his career he might be joining that Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson category of elite quarterbacks. And it just hasn't worked out the last 2 years. And he's only 24 heading into his fourth season. So that's it's kind of odd. Jordan Love, this is a guy that great arm, can make every throw, shows some athleticism. Only 27 years old, but he would just miss the cut for me. I don't want to pin some of the Packers playoff exits on him, but I mean that factors into it, and we can only take five. So Jordan Love wouldn't be in there. Jalen Hurts is a guy, 27 years old, former Super Bowl winner, been to two Super Bowls. But at the end of the day, the passing ability is a concern. He's a great leader. And like I said, we're talking about a small amount of quarterbacks that we're taking. We're talking about the top five. I wouldn't have Jalen Hurts in there. So to start with number five, I'm gonna give you all something to discuss. I won't call this rage baiting, and I know after his off-season activity, some will question this, but I'm gonna go with Jackson Dart. 23 years old, counted for 24 touchdowns last year, 15 passing, nine rushing. I think he's a serious talent. He is in the mold of that dual quarterback that all NFL teams are targeting right now, that all NFL teams want. He can make every throw. He's smart. He's athletic. I think the Giants really lucked up last year when they picked him. I think he was at number 18 or number 20, but I think the Giants really got one. I think they got a franchise quarterback. And if I was a GM, he would be one of the five guys. If I could choose from the pool of starting quarterbacks, he'd certainly be in consideration. I can understand some people might view this as a controversial pick. Jackson just starting off hasn't seen a playoffs, and there's still Jaden Daniels around, but I'm going with Jackson Dart. I'm buying Jackson Dart stock this offseason. Despite of him causing waves with his introduction of Donald Trump, I think that'll blow over. I think the Giants are going to be a surprise team this year. And number four, I'm going to go with the runner-up MVP last year, Drake May, 23 years old, already been to a Super Bowl. Another guy, big arm, can make every throw. His playoffs and Super Bowl kind of left a lot to desire. And that's why I only got him number four, but he'd be a great quarterback to start with. Big guy, 6'4", 240, looks to be pretty durable, smart, understands passing concepts, great arm, very accurate too. And number three, I'm gonna go with Pat Mahomes. Now I would say he's still in his prime. 30 years old. He probably has about five, maybe peak years left, 5 or 6 prime years left. He's a little older than what you would want to start a franchise with, but with Pat, you got a guy that's won 3 Super Bowls. He's still come in right away for your franchise and instantly make it a contender. I can't see a Pat Mahomes team not being a playoff contender year in and year out. I don't know how many division titles he's got already in his young career. 6, 7, something like that. 3 Super Bowls, 5 Super Bowl appearances. The only thing that knocks him down to number three is that one, age at 30 years old. Two, coming off of ACL. And three, he hasn't had those monster Pat Mahomes years as of late. But still, you know with Pat Mahomes, you're getting leadership. You're getting maybe the most physically talented quarterback that ever played this game. So he'll be number three on my list. Number two on my list is a guy that you can almost echo the same sentiments about in terms of a 30-year-old guy who's maybe the most physically gifted quarterback we've seen. He's certainly probably one of the top 5 physically gifted quarterbacks we've seen in our lifetimes. It's Josh Allen, extremely durable, big guy, can run, make every throw. Again, he's in that mold that GMs are looking for, able to give you a dual threat. Josh Allen, he hasn't been able to get the big one, the Super Bowl, but I think right coach, right GM, right team, he could certainly do it. He's not a guy that's had awful playoff performances. He's got turned away probably the greatest quarterback in this generation since Tom Brady retired, and Pat Mahomes. So it's a guy that's gotten to the mountaintop, just hasn't been able to get over the top. But I don't really think that's a Josh Allen thing. I think that's maybe a Buffalo Bills thing and their coach thing. So Josh Allen will be the second most desirable quarterback for me, starting a franchise. And a number one, drum roll, please. I'm going to go with the hometown kid, Caleb Williams.
The Bears.
No, this is not a biased selection. This guy led the Bears on, I believe, 7 or 8 game-winning drives last season. This is a guy who operates extremely well under pressure. This is a guy that's has maybe the most talented arm in the league right now. Number one overall pick 2 years ago for a reason. 24 years old. You should be able to have this guy a prime elite quarterback for the next 10 to 12 years. I think this year is the year Caleb Williams makes another leap like he did last year, but I think this leap is to MVP consideration. I think that at the end of the year, when we're here in 2027, we'll be talking about a guy who either brought home an MVP or was in serious MVP discussions. Maybe a guy that brought his team to a Super Bowl. Caleb Williams is just unbelievably talented. Guy with a good head on his shoulder, another durable guy. His rookie year, he endured 67 sacks, I believe. Didn't miss a game. So you've got the total package of Caleb Williams. You got a guy that performs unbelievably well in pressure situation, is unbelievably clutch, is a dual threat. I mean, we saw last year he really utilized his legs. He's one of, I think, 4 players to hit 22 miles per hour, 21 miles per hour on the little NFL speed radar thing. So this is a guy that can do anything, make every throw. I mean, unbelievable arm talent. So I think the future is bright. So if I was a GM right now and I got to pick any quarterback to start a franchise with, it would be Caleb Williams.
Appreciate you tapping into this latest episode from the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel. Don't matter if you was watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify or Apple. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with everybody on the block, and hit the notification bell so you never miss none of our daily drops. And to all the guys from the shy, we say 3 things. Bear down, fly the W, and sell the team, Jerry.